Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Tech Tank Trials channel. Today, we are going to be discussing cybersecurity. Cybersecurity is a topic that I haven't really covered much on this channel, but I have a lot of experience with. Um, so stay tuned and check us out here on this production. Let's go. So let's get with it. And it opens these URLs really quick. Got him. Definitely not the greatest at playing this game, but I have fun. That's all that matters. Ouch. All right, ladies and gentlemen, today we are discussing cybersecurity tips and solutions, and we're going to discuss ways that you can protect yourself. Some of the experience, I mean, every day we experience different things in cybersecurity, and so what I'm going to be doing is bringing up some examples of what comes across my desk, and I'll take this time at this moment to share some of what I've experienced. I had a computer one time, and I hooked up Windows XP, and it's when like things were really kicking off on the internet in the 2000s, and it didn't have an antivirus on it or nothing like that. And as soon as I connected it to the internet, the thing got hacked. I got pop-ups coming up from all over the place, browser hijacked and everything, homepage hijacked and all that stuff. And all I knew to do back then was format the hard drive and start over, and then install some sort of security virus like malware brights on it at the time. And I had a website that I was running at the time, and this is back in those days too. And something happened, and like I showed up to the page, and all this weird stuff was going on, and I realized what had happened. So I had to go above the level of that page, and I had to format it and start over again. So this stuff is real, people. These people out here are out here to get you, and they are not playing. So this is a little touch on the cybersecurity and what we could do to protect ourselves. It's very important to be, stay up to date on this sort of thing. And going forward, what we're going to do is we're going to cover various cyber crime and cybersecurity topics, and we're going to do some various cybersecurity projects using like Linux and different things like that. So you definitely want to stay tuned. But let's go define cybercrime. Cybercrime is illegal acts using computers or networks to steal data, disrupt services, or commit fraud, often for financial gain, with billions of dollars lost globally annually. Common types include phishing, ransomware, identity theft, DDoS attacks. Now, prevention requires strong passwords, updated software, and vigilance, while reporting involves law enforcement such as the FBI or CISA. Okay. But yeah, so this is a big deal, this is nothing to be played with. Now, a little bit about us. We originally started a channel to do various computer and technology related projects. We received our first computer in 1994. In those days, if something broke, we had to fix it without the internet, Google, or AI. It was tough, and sometimes you would spend hours to work on a simple problem, or with a program, or with a piece of hardware. So, our mission and our vision is to stay current with the technology and advances and to share the information that we learn. Okay. Now, it is very important that, well, before we go forward, we also got the topics that we're going to do today. We're going to talk about the types of cybercrime, and we're going to talk about how you can protect yourself with these things that are going on out here. The types of cybercrime we'll be covering today are phishing and social engineering, malware and ransomware, identity theft, hacking, distributed denial of service attacks, DDoS, financial fraud, and cyber extortion. And definitely stay tuned on the channel. Make sure you subscribe and all that stuff with the notification bell, blah 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 blah. And that's important. So yes, subscribe. Make sure you click the notification bell so that you are aware of any new video that we come out with on the channel. I also want to extend a nice warm welcome to our new subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. I really appreciate you coming on board. We're going to bring the quality into the channel and we're going to move it forward. Be sure to click the like button. For me to take this time to put this together, it takes a lot of time out of the day, and I could be doing other things, and but I choose to do this, and I don't really do it for my health, and it's not like air, but I would certainly appreciate if you just took a simple second to click the like button, and I would totally appreciate that. For those that have clicked the like button, I appreciate it. Now I'm looking over the channel and I'm not really happy with the likes to views ratio. So I got to really push these likes to get us moving forward, because that helps the algorithm and it helps push this information out to people that really need to know it. And if you can, and you feel so inclined to do so, be sure to share the video. That helps the algorithm too. I will be sharing this video in a number of places, including X, Facebook, and everywhere else. You know what I mean? So let's get it. With the formalities out of the way, we're going to delve into this. All right. So we're going to talk about phishing and social engineering. This is fraudulent communications, emails, text, calls designed to trick users into revealing sensitive information such as logins, financial details, etc., personal information like your social and this, that, and the other. Common forms include spear phishing, targeted phishing, voice calls. People will call you, try to get information out of you, and stuff like that. But you have to be onto it. And smishing. And let me give you a tip here. Like, you got a phone, they try to get you there. I get a lot of calls from unknown numbers, block numbers, and this, that, and the other. What I do is I have them going, I have them basically have it set up to whereas you have to be on my contact list to get through anyway. Otherwise, you could probably leave a message and you could send me a text and I could block and delete it. So it's no big deal there. But it's a shame what it has come down to. My phone line is not necessarily that free and open, to be honest. Now, continuing on here, we have the email scams, which are fraudulent messages designed to steal sensitive information, money, or install malware, commonly appearing as legitimate requests from trusted sources. Key types include phishing, broad fake alerts, spear phishing, targeted attacks, business email compromise, executive vendor impersonation, and quishing, malicious QR codes. Oh, and let me tell you about that. I did get hit with a malicious QR code one time. I was at a restaurant and I was trying to figure out how to pay for my food, and I wanted to use the QR code and this, that, and the other. Next thing I know, they charged my credit card like $40 for some stuff that I like, some entertainment stuff that is not Netflix or anything like that, or Hulu. And it was like I had to get the charge removed, and I had to get that account like done with, and I think I ended up having to get a new card. Um, and it was all because I used somebody else's app to scan the QR code, and it didn't even get me to the restaurant I was trying to pay for the food for. So this stuff is real, people, and even people that have technological knowledge can be subject to the wrath of this stuff that happens, or the what happens here. All right, what we talk about here, we got phishing and social engineering. We're going to talk about how to protect yourself. First of all, with the emails, do not click on the links. I can't stress that enough. Do not click on the links, because if you do, you are subject to getting malware, your system compromised, information stolen from you, and all kinds of stuff. It's a dirty link. You don't want to touch it. Sometimes the email may seem authentic as the address has been spoofed. Emails that suggest an urgent action is a red flag. Don't even respond to it. Don't even waste your time with it. You could delete it and things like that, and you could go forth and report it, and do stuff like that. But the bottom line is do not take action on those emails and do not click the links. If they tell you that the sky's falling, do not action on the email. You see what I'm saying? All right. So that's very important. So that's how you protect yourself. That's one simple way to protect yourself. Let's talk about how to recognize phishing. And according to the FTC, if they say they notice something suspicious activity or login attempts and they haven't, don't respond to it. Now, with one of my Instagram accounts, they want to hack it so bad. I get things like weird text messages from that account, and then I have to go in and change the password. I get emails, legitimate emails from Instagram saying they're trying to change your password and things like that. I don't do nothing with that email because I don't want to change my password. They want to change the password, but the email comes to me. See, so it's like stuff like that. You have to use your intuition. You have to say if it makes sense, it's one thing, but if it doesn't make sense, you got to really investigate it further if you have the time and stuff like that, and just don't play into it. Now, point number two, they claim there's a problem with your account or payment information, and typically there isn't. You could go directly to your bank account or whatever account, your investment account, and you could verify if there is a problem with your payment information. So chances are when you do go there, you're not going to be able to correlate that email to the payment information. Then they say you need to confirm some personal or financial information. You don't. You really don't. Because if you have legitimately signed up for something that has some personal information about you, they have that information. So it makes no sense for them to want you to confirm the information that they have, if you see what I'm saying. So that's another case where it doesn't make sense. So you don't have to confirm that. And you could go and communicate with them directly and see if there's anything that needs to be checked into on that end just to make sure your account's legit. But don't fall for the hook, line, and sinker with these emails and texts and calls. That's what I'm saying. Now, and they include an invoice you don't recognize. I get invoices from Geek Squad, Netflix, things like that, and I don't even have accounts with them. So it's fake, you know what I mean? And I go in, I'll see who it came from, and I'll see the link, but I won't click on it. But you can hover over the link in your Outlook or whatever and see where it's going. If you have it on your phone, don't put your finger on it and hit it because it'll take you to the link and it could definitely compromise your phone. So, chances are, the bottom line is it's fake. They want you to click on a link to make a payment, but the link has malware. See, that's something you got to look out for. Don't click on a link in an email to make a payment with the sky is falling type message saying that if you don't make this payment, blah, 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 blah. 9 times out of 10, you don't have an account with who they're trying to get you to make a payment with. And if you're trying to pay your bills, it's best to go to whether it's a power company, the cable internet company, you go directly to their site with the address in the browser URL section, and you pay the bill there. Don't do it through the email because they could spoof it, take your information, and make charges that you're not aware of. Now, another one is say you're eligible to register for a government refund. It's too good to be true. They don't do that in the government. They don't, so it's a scam. Then they offer a coupon for free stuff. It's not real. Nothing is ever free. And if it is free, you are the product. So that's what it is. You know what I mean? So let's move forward here. Make sure you're liking and subscribing, and also, help us out with the algorithm in the channel. Pretty cool. Thank you for doing so. Now, here we have a phishing and social engineering example. And when I look at the email address, for you guys on the cell phones watching this, it's better to watch this on a big screen or something like that because I in the future I will zoom in on things like that and make it clear. But the email address makes no sense whatsoever. So the email address is looking mighty strange. They got the urgent action as the title, right? So we have blocked your account and your photos and videos will be deleted. I'm not worried because they don't have my photos and videos. I have my photos and videos. Okay. So there's this is like a wasted amount effort on their part. And these links here, don't click on any of them. That unsubscribe at the bottom, that's not going to help you. That's going to give them a chance to infect your system with malware, compromise your equipment, take your information, and things like that. So it's a fake link. You don't click it, right? That's it. That's it. And this is all important. So make sure you're hitting the like button. That's really important. Thank you for doing so. This is another example, right? And and this is a phishing and social engineering scam, right? So I'm going to drop off the cam for a second here. The email address is spoofed, right? No reply at kalashi.com. You can see that, right? It's a seemingly legit verification code email, right? It did a good job on setting this up. Let me tell you this, the links are fake. Do not click them. I highlighted I circled the 3 links they want you to click on. If you click on any of those, once again, you're putting yourself in danger of being compromised with your electronics, computers, phone, this, that, and the other, and having your information stolen. It's just no joke, right? And then the fourth thing here is this does not match my reality. I don't have a Kalshi account. So you see, so with those 4 pieces right there, and then they got the social media links at the bottom, like I guess they imagine they do in their email for real. If you click on any of those, once again, you are subject to the wrath of crime that they have for you. It's terrible. It really is. Um, so protect yourself. Do not bother with clicking these links. You could delete the email and it's all that. You could even go so far as to report it to them. Now let's talk about a text, okay? I'm going to drop off here. Phishing and social engineering can be unsolicited, unexpected SMS texts. So they come with weird email addresses sometimes and weird phone numbers. And this one says, I'm a 22-year-old student recently graduated from a university in the United States. Okay, what university are we talking about here? I'm currently working with friends and have a flexible schedule. So I'm free to travel at any time. I enjoy meeting new people and sharing experiences. If you'd like to see some photos or connect, feel free to reach out to me on Telegram. And for the purposes of the YouTube terms and conditions and what you call it, that thing, we decided to cross the names out, or what's the word, redact those names so that they don't get any free traffic and we don't support their crime here. Do not follow through with any of these. You can even delete it. Yeah, so we don't want to breach any terms of YouTube's agreement. So that's why we had to redact everything. You know what I mean? So this is important. These are some of the things you're going to run into. And it's important that you not follow through with them. If you're not expecting a text from that individual, don't do anything with it. And as a matter of fact, delete it because it doesn't need to be sitting on your phone, really. And some of them things like them fake package delivery things, they're malicious. You don't want to click on any of them. It's no good. All right. So furthermore, text and SMS. Do not click on any link provided in the text. If not expecting the text, do not take action on it. Delete the text to not clutter your device. SMS scams or smishing are fraudulent text messages designed to steal personal information, money, or passwords by impersonating trusted entities like banks, delivery services, or government agencies. These messages often contain malicious links or urgent requests for data. Never click links in unexpected text. Delete them immediately, and you can report them to 7726. This is no joke, people. It is serious out there, and that's what you got to do. You got to fight back. I mean, it don't take much time to fight back, and we'll see that later. Um, malware. Malware is any malicious software designed to disrupt, damage, or gain unauthorized access to a computer system. While ransomware is a specific, highly destructive type of malware that encrypts files and demands payment for their release. Key differences include ransomware's primary goal of financial extortion via file encryption. And if you ever get your files encrypted by somebody else and they have the passkey, that's a very compromising position. And the thing is, you don't want to pay into it because they they could do anything they want, and their heart might be cold as stone, and they might just delete your data anyway. So you don't want to give in to that. And it's real out there, people. I'm telling you, it is real. It is no joke. Okay. The impact. We're going to talk about that. Uh, the malware and ransomware. The types include viruses, worms, Trojan horses, spyware, adware, ransomware, botnets, and rootkits. The function is to steal data, disrupt services, or do damage to networks. The specifics are it encrypts local network files and demands a ransom, often in cryptocurrency, to provide a decryption key. And cryptocurrency is a little bit more difficult to track than putting somebody's bank account or credit card information or PayPal or anything like that. So it's the way that money moves on the dark web, and um, the internet is in several layers. There's the internet that we see, and that's the internet the government uses that we don't see, and then there's the dark web where all the crime continues, and it's like a really big area. It's like an iceberg. We're at the tip of the iceberg on the visible internet. So the impact is it could cause massive downtime, data loss, cost, and costly operational disruption. The spread method is primarily via phishing emails, malicious links, compromised websites, or software vulnerabilities. Right. The threat, even if ransom is paid, the attackers may not provide the key or may destroy the data instead. So if you pay them, you may as well keep the money, because if you pay them, they could do anything they want, plus they got paid. If you keep the money and just recoup your losses another way, you got the money, you can move forward a little bit easier and not pay into their crime. You see what I'm saying? So you have to be strong and you have to be smart, you know. Just don't even like set yourself up for being like that. Another thing is, I wanted to point out that there's some great examples of malware and ransomware at crowdstrike.com. They pretty much keep everything up to date on that. And they show a recent ransomware examples of 16 recent ransomware attacks. I thought that would be an interesting place. If you are interested in going to this link, you can either go to your browser, type it in, this, that, and the other. But I also put a link to my page in the information section of the video, which contains this link and other resources for dealing with cybercrime and that sort of thing. That's really cool. Um, Now, identity theft is the illegal acquisition and use of another person's personal information, such as names, social security numbers, or bank details without permission, typically for financial fraud or deception. Criminals use this data to open credit lines, steal tax refunds, rent properties, or obtain medical services, causing severe financial and credit damage on your behalf. Common types of identity theft are financial fraud, unauthorized purchases, new credit cards, or loans opened in your name. So you got to be on your credit report, kind of watching out for that sort of thing, and proactively taking action against something that shows up that doesn't belong to you. Like, I have bill collectors, I don't know if it's necessarily a fraud thing, but it's more of an information mess up. Like, there are a lot of people that have my name, I guess. And I had to point out to the bill collector that that's not my account, that doesn't belong to me. But things like that. Then you have tax and medical fraud, using your social security number for employment or using your information for medical care. The warning signs here are unexpected debt collection calls, missing mail, strange accounts on your credit report, or receiving a tax return you didn't file. So you got to look out for these sort of things. It's really important. Stay vigilant, folks. It's your stuff on the line. Your credit, your reputation, your financials. You got to protect it. Um, the other thing is, some of the examples of identity theft are financial identity theft. This is the most common form, where a criminal uses your information to obtain credit, goods, and services. New account fraud. The thief opens up new credit card accounts and loans in your name. I had one where somebody tried to uh, open up. I think they tried to get me for a bill of like a lot of money, and I told them like that ain't me, that sort of thing. So this stuff is very real. Account takeover. The criminal gains access to your existing bank account or credit card accounts. It changes the login credentials and makes unauthorized transactions or withdrawals. Now, I'm going to add a piece to this and say that if you want to prevent this sort of thing, if your bank or your institution or any of those critical accounts offers two-factor authentication, go ahead and set that up. That's important. Other ways of authentication involve sending you an email with a code that you got to enter in. It may be a pain in the neck, but it helps. I like the fact that my bank tells me when I logged in and also if anybody else logged in to my account, that sort of thing. And I can confirm it and deny it and this, that, and the other. When I go to, say, my investments account, um, I have to go into the phone app to okay the access, stuff like that. Online shopping fraud, they like using your stolen card numbers and security codes to make online purchases. So be monitoring your bank account. Like if somebody makes a purchase, it comes up as a notice to me right away. And I can take action on it right from that point. But also be vigilant in checking your statements and make sure there's no funny business going on. Now we got mortgage and title fraud, forging property deeds to transfer ownership or take out loans against your home's equity. That's another big one you got to watch out for. Then you got the tax identity theft. The fraudster uses your social security number to file a bogus tax return and steal your refund. And you got to be careful of that. It's crazy what they do out there. Um, if they actually took the time to put it to good use, maybe they could make something good of themselves, but that's neither here nor there. Now, more examples of identity theft include medical identity theft, where the thief uses your name and health insurance information to obtain medical services, prescription drugs, or equipment, which can lead to incorrect entries in your medical records and large bills. Then we got criminal identity theft, where a criminal provides law enforcement with your identifying information, like your driver's license, when arrested to avoid charges or a warrant in their own name, resulting in a criminal record for you. This that's you see that? You see how they did that? They committed a crime. They're going to use your information to put that crime on you. Then all of a sudden, law enforcement's knocking on your door, and then you got a case. And that's the thing. You can't take your freedom or your life for granted, and that's how it is. Child identity theft. The personal information, especially social security numbers of a minor, is used to open accounts, get loans, or even avoid arrest, often, and it goes undetected for years. Then there's synthetic identity theft, where the criminal combines real information like your social security number with fake information like different names and addresses to create new fraudulent identity to build credit and take out loans. This stuff is real, people. This stuff is real. It's unbelievable what they do, and some of this might even be new to some of you guys. Um, Identity theft examples like continue. It's like stealing mail, bills, credit card offers, and checks from your mailbox to harvest personal information. Get a shredder. If you got paper that you want to get rid of, don't just ball it up and throw it away. If it contains information about you that's personal, it's best to shred it up. Also, if you fall victim to identity theft, you can report it to the Federal Trade Commission and report any suspicious activity to the companies or agencies involved, such as the law enforcement agencies. You may also want to place a fraud alert on your credit reports with the three nationwide consumer reporting agencies being Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. And the funny thing is, they have data leaks where your data gets. I don't trust them either, be honest. But let's move forward here with this. All right. So be sure to click the like, share if you are benefiting from this content. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. We're going to be doing some deep diving into some identity theft topics, and things like that. So that's an interesting, once again, I haven't really covered this topic in detail on the channel in the past, but it really does interest me, and I want to bring what I learned to you. All right, now let's talk about this: how to protect yourself from identity theft. You can protect yourself from identity theft by freezing your credit with all the three major bureaus, being Equifax, Experian, and TransUnion. You could use strong and unique passwords with that multi-factor authentication, and you got to shred the sensitive documents. Now, the importance of multi-factor authentication is this: with a username and password, if they have that, that's two pieces of data that they have that they can easily get from you without you knowing, to get into whatever you have, accounts you have. Now, that multi-factor authentication, whether it be your phone or this, that, or the other, and another app and this, that, it's a little bit of a pain in the neck, but that's the piece, the third piece that they would need to get in that they can't exactly get as easy as a strong password or a username. So it's a three-layer thing that you have going on. So also be vigilant, monitor your bank statements for fraud, avoid sharing that personal information over unsolicited calls and emails, and never carry your social security card. That's a good one there. I will take note of that myself. See, I'm learning something as I do this. That's powerful. All right. All right. So yeah, make sure you like the video and stuff. Help us out here. Okay, now we're going to go into hacking. Hacking is the unauthorized access, manipulation, or exploitation of computer systems, networks, or digital services, digital devices to steal data, causing disruption or financial or political advantages. It involves identifying security weakness using methods like phishing, malware, or brute force attacks. And just real quick, phishing is like they're sending you a fake email, this and the other for information. Malware, they use that fake phishing email to get a link, you to click a link and install their malware. And then the other one is brute force attacks that involves none of that really, but they just use a program of some type to just run through a bunch of passwords until they get in. And that's where you got to do your passwords right. You got to have uppercase, lowercase, numbers, symbols to make it as difficult as possible. And then add that multi layer authentication to top that off. It's not 100%, nothing that's 100% secure, but you got a chance to protect yourself by doing it in 3 layers like that. Now, while often associated with cybercrime, hacking can be ethical when used to improve security. That's another thing, too. There's a big industry in ethical hacking, and we'll talk about that later. Hacking, I want to say this: 1 ounce of prevention is worth a pound of the cure, according to Benjamin Franklin in 1736. And he's right. Essentially, what he's saying is it's easier to prevent something than it is to do the cleanup afterwards, if you know what I mean. So we could prevent this stuff by using them strong, unique passwords with 12 to 16 characters for every account. And that's with the digits, the numbers, the letters, uppercase, lowercase, and the symbols. Then you got to get that multi factor authentication and use a password manager. The days of using a spreadsheet for your password are long gone. And if you do decide to use a sheet for your passwords like that, make sure you lock the sheet too with one password so that if somebody by chance gets into your stuff, they don't, bam, have it right there. Enable multi factor authentication everywhere you can. Keep all software, apps, and operating systems updated. So you take Windows 11, when an update comes about, I get on it right away. I let the system update, then I move forward with what I'm about to do. So same thing with the phone. You got an iPhone, you got an Android, update it as soon as possible when that new update comes available. And if you can't by chance update the software on the computer operating system, like say for instance the Windows 10, I can't run Windows 11 situation. Unfortunately, you gotta get rid of that computer. If your phone won't update with the latest, you gotta get rid of that. It's e-waste at that point if it can't be updated. So make sure you avoid clicking the suspicious links or downloading attachments. And your home Wi-Fi should be secured. They should require a password to at least get into your Wi-Fi, a WPA2 type password. Important, very important. Um, So that's kind of a good way to prevent it. Now we're going to discuss the distributed denial of service attacks. DDoS attack is a malicious attempt to disrupt normal traffic of a server, service, or network by overwhelming it with a flood of internet traffic from multiple compromised sources, a botnet. These attacks use thousands of millions of infected devices, known as bots, zombies, to send overwhelming request volumes, causing websites to slow to a crawl or crash. It's like an unexpected traffic jam clogging up the highway. Botnet could be something like a compromised computer where you're using that computer and you're doing your bills and this, that, and the other, but they got some software running that you don't see that's doing the botnet. And imagine if there are 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, a million other computers like that, they are infected too, doing the same thing to unsuspecting people. And these botnets can be bought for a price on the dark net. I've seen that too. It's really serious. This stuff is real, people. This stuff is real. Um, yeah. So yeah, that's what it is. So these attacks, you could prevent them, but it requires a multi-layered defense strategy focused on network resilience and traffic filtering. Key measures include using a CDN, a cloud-based protection service like Cloudflare or AWS Shield, implementing rate limiting, configuring firewalls to block malicious traffic, and regularly monitoring network traffic for anomalies. So that's important too. It's if you got like things like like your business is online, you want to make sure that you don't get shut down that way temporarily. All right, financial fraud and cyber extortion. Financial fraud is the intentional deception of an individual or organization to illicitly acquire money, assets, or sensitive data, such through phishing or identity theft. Cyber extortion is a subset of this, where criminals hack systems or data, then demand a ransom to prevent publishing confidential information or disrupting operations. Cyber extortion, a criminal act where attackers breach digital systems, steal sensitive data, or disrupt services demanding payment to stop the attack or restore access. Common methods include ransomware, DDoS attacks, and data exfiltration, with threats often including releasing private information. Now, I want to add my piece to that. I get emails all the time claiming they're going to do this, that, and the third with this. They've been looking at me on my webcam, do this, that, and the third. We're going to like send out this information to all your peoples and this, that, and the other. And you got to pay us X amount of dollars on this Bitcoin address. You don't give into it. Even if you did, they could still do whatever they're going to do. And then you're out that money. So we're going to go through and like look at an example here of a situation, a cyber extortion type example. Now you see at the top that it has my my miscellaneous email address. It's a free Hotmail address that I've had for years. You know what I mean? They sent me an email. They spoofed my own, so I went into the sent box and I didn't see it as sent from me. So I know that email address is spoofed. Now, if it was sent from me, then that would mean a different thing, and I'd be having a different conversation about it. But either or, I have to do my due diligence and I have to go and take this threat seriously. So I'll read into it. It says, "We need to talk double time. I want to make you an offer that you can't refuse, but only once. Here's what I have: your complete personal information, full name, date of birth, home address, your social security number, driver's license details, all your email account login credentials, including this account, other login details to your private messages, a multitude of files found on your device, access to your bank accounts, the details of your credit card number, expiry date, and CVV code. I've compiled this entire package to a single folder. I intend to do two things with it. It is up to you to decide which one. I will send this entire package to the darknet markets where other criminals will buy it. It is unknown how they will use this information. They may purchase something illegal in your name, or they may not, but you will definitely not like it. Or you can buy it from me at a small fee of $600. Changing chart Changing the entire package of documents and data is very expensive and very time consuming and unsafe. No, this person is trying to get me to side with what they're trying to do. You know what I mean? You know what I'm going to do? I'm actually going to preemptively, passwords should be changed every now and again. That's a fact. That's one of the things I have to do. You know what I mean? Using the mobile passwords ain't going to do nothing. Also, your browser will tell you about the mobile passwords if they get compromised, if you got the right plugins. So I already know that you have just read this text. Do not try to ignore this. I only accept payments in Bitcoin and exchange rate at the time of the transfer. So they put the transfer Bitcoin there. It's obfuscated for we don't really want to send them anything at all. After payment, I will delete the folder containing your data and continue living as before. Or if you don't trust me, take your time changing all your data. I mother will. You know what I mean? It is more profitable for me if you pay me. Of course. You know what I mean? It's easier and better for everyone. No, You got see this is a good extortion example, and I'm glad this came across my desk. This fool is dumb because he doesn't know me or about me. He thinks I'm gonna agree with his crime to his benefit. No, it ain't going down that way, bro. It ain't going down that way. The passwords have been changed. Multi-factor authentication has been done. So this is a unique offer. Take advantage of it. I will wait 1 day only. This really, I get these all the time. It don't mean crap, honestly. But this is what I did actually. I went and I filed a complaint. I took all the information I could. I went to ic3.gov, Internet Crime Complaint Center, and it says if you or someone else is in immediate danger, please call 911 or your local police. I don't have to do that, thank God. But they focus on collecting cyber-enabled crime. Crimes against children should be filed with the National Center for Missing and Exploited Children. Other types of crimes, such as threats of terrorism, should be reported to tips.fbi.gov. So we're in the right place to file this complaint at ic3.gov for what it is. It's an Internet Crime Complaint Center. And that's exactly what I did. I decided that, hey, this has to stop at some point. The buck stops here. And that's what I said. So this is a confirmation that I have fought back. I have successfully submitted. You have successfully submitted your complaint. You print that information, save it for your records, and we will not email or send an electronic version of this file. So, due to the volumes of complaints received, the FBI is unable to respond to every complaint. Please be assured that your complaint will be reviewed and you will be contacted if additional information is needed. If anything further is to happen on this, I could go back to them with the proof of evidence of the crime being like money stolen or accounts compromised and things like that. And you know, I could submit an additional complaint. And then they give you a whole bunch of things to do. One of the things to do is contact your bank, financial institutions, and credit card companies to safeguard your accounts. So this was a good example. So I took time to report this. It was a several page form that didn't take much to do. It involved I didn't have much information to give them. I gave them the Bitcoin. I gave them the email headers. I went into the email, that the part that you don't see with all this data, and I copied and pasted it into the form for them to review. They're experts. They're gonna look into it if they ever get to it or whatever, and they're gonna do their thing and go from there. If enough people report this and enough information against that Bitcoin address gets reported, eventually, and something's gonna lead to the perpetrator of that, whether it be like a network IP address within the header of the email or something that tied to that Bitcoin address or something to that effect in an indirect way. All right, so this is how to fight back. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, do not pay the ransom, because if you do pay that ransom, first, you are out that money. You ain't getting that money back at all. Secondly, they have the freedom to do whatever they want to do. So it's like, I'd rather keep my money and let them do whatever they're gonna do if they're gonna do it. But on my end, I'm being proactive and changing passwords and such, and this, that, and the other, and getting with my financial institution and make sure things are on the up and up. But I still have that cash, and I could do other things like buy into other services that kind of help protect you against this sort of thing. Also, immediately document all evidence, screenshots, messages. Report the incident to the FBI's IC3 and local law enforcement. I'm I haven't gotten to the law enforcement part yet. I just haven't gotten to that. But that is a possibility. I could, after this video is done, I could very well go to the law enforcement people and report this. Then we could secure accounts. That's what's gonna happen, is we gotta secure these accounts by changing passwords and enable multi-factor authentication. So this stuff is real, people. Take heed. Take heed. If you like the video, be sure to give us a like. If you're new to the channel, subscribe. Click the notification bell. Be up to date when new videos come out. For if you want to get in touch with us, If you need our services, go to prwdigital.us. We'll do consulting, video, audio, creation, editing, format conversions, website setup, spreadsheet builds, and other business applications. We got a lot of things we do there. So it's a digital services company run by me for all of you. Also, any information that I talked about in the video, there's a little bit more information like links and resources in the comment section of the video. Follow that link there. That's one of my sites, techteamtronics.net, and I'll go from there. So thank you for watching, folks, and have a great day. And be sure to come on back. Yeah, and that's it. That's it. We're out of here. Thank you.
Yo, what's up? This is Dr. Dre.
What's up, y'all? This is Tupac, Machiavelli the Dawn.
Yo, it's Crack Flag. This is Big Snoop Deal Double G.
You're in the mix with the one and only. It's DJ 3T.